They told us to give a disclaimer. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the podcasters, any guests, and do not reflect any of the management, owners, sponsorships, or employees of thereof. Pretty much, if you're soft, don't listen to this podcast. One thing I pride myself on is just being the same and trying to look out for my folks along the way.
Like, even with all these, big things happening, like, you still mad humble, and you still, like, you have enough clout now where you could easily be like, I'm not fucking with this, I'm not fucking with that.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers, it's on. Unrestricted Podcast listeners, thank you so much for clicking play. Because of you, those numbers are going up, up, and up. And as you know, we did launch the Patreon. So the Patreon is alive and well, and I appreciate everybody subscribing to that. You're helping to keep the lights on in the studio, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to support non-monetarily, maybe you want to just share, like, comment, subscribe. That is free to do, and it helps so much. Now, today I got a very special guest across from me, somebody you are very familiar with. He is with Fierce FC. He's a father, a husband, an athlete himself. He just had a fight back in February.
Yep.
Got the win. We'll talk about that. I got my man Zack Partridge in the building. I forgot to add, coach now. You're a baseball coach.
Oh, I've been coach for a long time. Baseball.
Have you?
So I've been coaching baseball. So since I was 17, still in high school, I coached my cousin's little league team.
How'd you guys do?
We killed it that year, actually. I think we lost in the semifinals. Like, we had a pretty good little team.
Did you play baseball yourself?
I did.
But football was your thing.
Baseball was probably my first love.
Mm.
I liked the physicality part of football, and I really fell in love with football like when I was a teenager. But I mean, baseball was my first love when it comes to sports, and I still like. I love being at the ball field. I love coaching. I actually had a fight. I think it was maybe my second fight or my fourth fight. One of my fights, I actually went to weighed in for my fight, and booked it to the softball field because I was still playing slow pitch softball then. Like, I was that committed to my team.
Dang.
So I loved, which was stupid in hindsight. I could have easily gotten hurt.
Yeah.
For my fight the next night, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, I love baseball.
So where's your love for baseball come from? Was it family?
Growing up in Maryland, my dad took me to my first Orioles game at Camden Yards when I was about 5 years old. Cal Ripken Jr. hit a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 11th inning against the Blue Jays. And I think just being in that environment at 5 years old, like, I loved baseball after that. Became a big Braves fan because they were always on TBS, right? So became a big Braves fan, and yeah, I've loved baseball. I'm ultra competitive, right? What I love about baseball, even though it's a team sport, when you're in the batter's box, it's just you versus the pitcher. That's all that matters. Or and then I pitched growing up too. So I loved having the ball in my hands and just, I love, there's psychology to it. It's just competitive. Baseball is beautiful.
What made me fall in love with baseball is Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
The movie Three Ninjas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They
Of course.
play baseball.
Of course.
I was like, man, that looked like fun.
But that's like that was like number 2 or 3 of it too. Like, not the original one, but
Yeah.
like they had that whole Yep.
That's when I first, and then obviously King Griffey Jr. When I lived in Portland, we didn't have a professional baseball team. We only had the Trailblazers, right? Mm-hmm. So like the close second was Mariners.
Yeah.
And seeing King Griffey just knock him out the park, I was like, man, dinger after dinger. It's like, dang.
Everybody I mean, I think he was one of those guys that even if you didn't love baseball, you loved Griffey Jr.
And he had dope sneakers too.
He had dope sneakers. He had the video game, right? Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest on N64 was like iconic when I was a kid.
Was he the first? Maybe not the first, but like maybe he is the first like pop culture baseball guy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he was, the kid he's like doing home run derbies with his hat backwards, right? Baseball's so buttoned up and it's hat forward, and and then there's the Yankees with the Yankees way with clean cut, and that was like the standard, and then you got this kid who's the man and becoming the face of baseball, and he's just having fun, hat backwards, smiling. super cool when he was a kid, playing on the same team with his dad.
Yeah.
Only father-son combination to hit back-to-back home runs in a game together. Like that type of stuff was just storylines that can, it's like that's like movie stuff. And when you see it play out in real life, I think it captures a lot of imagination and a lot of interest. I loved baseball growing up.
You've been coaching for a very long time, but are you most recently coaching your son? Is that different?
Yeah. So like I've done, like I did my cousin's team, and then I coached high school football, where I played at Davis High 1 year. I coached in Woods Cross with I had a cousin who he needed help on, and he said, "Hey, you've coached in the past, and you want to coach. Like, do you want to come help?" So I just help coach like my cousin's kids' little league team in Woods Cross, for, I think we did 2 years there doing that. That was a lot of fun. I've done little league football, but yeah, I mean, right now it's like, I focus on my kids.
Yeah.
Mostly.
I mean, your son just hurt himself, so you're still coaching him, but he's not really playing right now, right?
Not right now, but so the season doesn't start for another couple weeks, and if all things considered, he doesn't have any setbacks, it's very possible that he can play. Like he'll only miss the first week of games, like the first 2 games, and then he potentially can start playing after that. So, 4 to 6 week injury to get that fracture in his hand to heal.
Yeah,
and if it's 4 weeks, that's only 2 games.
Oh yeah,
so
he'll be solid.
Hopeful.
Yeah. I was with my good friend Sione, and we were doing a photo shoot for Taylorsville, for the Taylorsville baseball team.
I saw that, yeah.
And it made me realize how much I miss team activities, like team sports. Like those guys, you could tell they have inside jokes and just that team atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you really don't get that as an adult too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was part of what I loved about when I got into MMA and at our gym. It's like that camaraderie, the locker room vibe and stuff like that. We went back. They celebrated. It makes me feel really old. They celebrated a 20-year anniversary of our state championship game last fall for high school football at Davis, and they celebrated that team. And we came out, and I haven't seen a lot of those guys in 18, 19 years.
Wow.
And since we graduated high school together. And I don't keep in touch with a lot of them, even through social media and stuff. I kind of have my own little world and network, and it has nothing to do with that part. But it's pretty cool to see how, like you said, those jokes and everything, like a lot of memories come back, and you just kind of fall right back into it.
Yeah, like it never left.
Yeah, like it never left.
So what do you do with your ring? Because I know you guys got presented rings, right?
Oh yeah, it's in a case on my desk.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's dope. So Zack, man, you just came off of, it's been a few months now, but February you had a fight. You dusted off the old gloves, and you got back in there. Was it Crown Fighting Championship you went to?
Down at Crown.
You fought. I got the guy's name here because I wasn't familiar with him. I think he was coming. He hadn't fought for a while as well. The man's name is slipping me. Holy smokes! Was it
Tofi?
Tofi.
Yeah, Tofi Mika.
Yeah, Tofi Mika. First round. What was it, like 50 seconds? You got him out in first round.
Yeah.
It looked like you stunned him with a left hand, and you got him with a guillotine, right?
Yeah, for sure. We stung him early. So he was a teammate of the last guy that I fought in my pro debut, Roger Atchley. When they took that fight, it was he hadn't fought in a while. He's from Hawaii. Hawaii didn't have an athletic commission till 5 years ago. So a lot of those Hawaiian kids, they have a lot more fights than show on their record. But at the same time, like his official amateur record wasn't great. And so for him to make his pro debut against me, while in one hand I was super appreciative because we went through like 3 different opponents that said they would and then backed out or ghosted or whatever. I got some lame excuses on some other ones why they didn't want to fight. I had one kid that was like, well, I like Zack. Like, I fought for Fierce in the past, and, like, me and Zack are friends. I'm like, dude, we haven't talked in 2 years since you fought for Fierce. Like, what do you mean we're friends? Like, There's a reason there's a reason why I asked to fight, or I said yes to fighting you, you know? And it's not personal. Like, fighting's not personal. Like, I think I could fight a friend, like somebody that I consider a friend. Like, would you play pickup basketball with a friend and like be competitive?
It's a little different though, Zach. You're punching the guy in the face. You're trying to choke him out.
It is, but it isn't. Like, I've had people that I'm really good friends with drop me in the gym. I've had friends that I consider really good friends that have choked me unconscious in the gym. And I do the same to them in the gym. Why not do it when we make a little bit of money?
Yeah, I guess not everybody's built the same.
I mean, there's some friends that I wouldn't fight, but like, I mean, acquaintance. Like, I wouldn't fight a teammate that I train with every day.
Okay,
and I consider them friends, but like, I wouldn't fight them. But like, I'm pretty much in good stand. Like, would consider most of the Utah MMA community a friend.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them like that. I'd be fine fighting them. Like, it's not personal for me. Like, fighting isn't personal. Mm-hmm. It's competing. So, it was weird when I got a couple of no's though. And Tofi, while I very much appreciate that he took the fight, I very much appreciated that he was a good, respectful opponent and everything. There's part of me with his record from what I saw that I was like, I felt a little disrespected that, I mean, you don't take a fight unless you think you can win, right?
Yeah.
I felt a little disrespected that he felt like he could beat me too. Like I carried that shit, whether I had to make that up in my head to like kind of get myself going or whatever, but like, a guy with a losing record as an amateur decides to go pro and says yes to me and thinks he can beat me. Like, I just carried that chip on my shoulder all camp, and yeah, we got after it. It was, and I mean, that was the whole thing was I was going to go in there and I wanted to knock him out.
Well, you stunned him.
We almost got the knockout. I think if I would have landed one more clean, I think I would have slept him.
Nobody talks about that left. I get a lot of people that talk about the choke, but I'm like, man, no, that left caught him.
Well, the hope is that one day I'll get to because like I was promised that he's a kickboxer and he won't shoot, he won't grapple. And I was like, cool. Like, I came in there ready to just kickbox until one of us dropped, and hit him a few times, and he shot at my leg, and it turned into grappling pretty quick. But I felt like I held the advantage there too.
There's a lot of, obviously, you just said it. He felt a little disrespected because of his record. There's a little bit of disrespect you felt, but to get it done so quick, does that make you even more upset? Because at one point you got the win, right? That's the main thing. We got the win, but at the same point, you took a lot of weeks to get to this position of being ready for the fight.
Yeah, my pro debut when I fought his teammate, though, we went the full 3 rounds in 15 minutes, and that sucked.
Yeah,
that was exhausting, man. Like,
but to get it done that quick against a guy that you knew you would,
I did what I was supposed to do. Like, if I'm gonna take that mentality and that disrespect that, quite frankly, like, I took it as they think I suck. Like, I've already fought one of their teammates. Like, if they think I suck and they're gonna let somebody with a losing amateur record make their pro debut against me, thinking they're gonna win, like, I need to beat him so emphatically that they know that was a big mistake, letting him take that fight. And I mean, I think I accomplished that.
Oh yeah, you did. You got it done. So what's the next thing? Are you going to get another fight?
So I am waiting. My manager's working on a couple of things. We were hoping to fight April 25th in Las Vegas if we're tough enough. Like, that's kind of like a bucket list thing for me. Not a lot of luck again. I don't understand why. I don't think I'm the scariest opponent in the world for people. But I'm down to fight, like, it's not like I'm trying to like pick and choose like easy. It's not like I'm trying to pick and choose like just easy fights or whatever. There are people out there like that, but I do this to, challenge myself. I also know where I stand too. Like, I'm not going to fight like I don't know, like there's different levels in this sport, right? But, I train with some of the best guys in the state, and I feel like I hang with them just fine. So I'm pretty, anybody that, similar record at my weight class, like, I'm down. you know.
So is that the holdup? Is that it's the nose from the other side? Like you're
well,
like sending the
or not?
contract.
It's not even nose, but it's getting something that works for the promotion as well, right?
Gotcha.
And yeah, they're working on that. And then you know, I reached out and had my manager reach out and threw my name into the BKFC hat for here at the Maverick Center May 10th. I'm totally down to do that as well. Get that experience, fight at home. I haven't fought in Salt Lake City in like 4 years.
Yeah.
So if you know, they sent me a name, we immediately said yes. Like, he has a little bit bigger record than me, a little more experienced fight wise, and but you know, like I said, like I'm not trying to pick and choose like just easy fights all the time, whatever. And before I even did much research, my manager, I said, yep, that's a yes, and manager said yes, and we're just waiting to hear back from them. I believe he fights this weekend. I think that's what they're mostly waiting for. But tickets went on sale yesterday at the Maverick Center.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, only a couple of guys in Utah have their contracts. I know Ben Moa has his contract. He's on the card. But there's a whole bunch of Utah guys that are planning on being in that card, including me, if I get a contract. Whatever I get a contract first, that's where I'm going.
Gotcha.
But if I get a contract, like... We're all waiting for contract. It's really hard to sell tickets to a fight event when you don't know who's fighting, and so it's kind of up
nervous.
It's kind of up in the air right now. I honestly,
because your promotion, it's not easy to sell the Maverick Center. You know, it's a lot of seats.
I mean, honestly, I think the BKFC business model is a very interesting one. I'm not trying to like. I think they have a lot of balls in the air that they're trying to juggle all the time. And so I just think that they have a lot of inefficiencies in their systems and their business practices that creates these situations. They're 4 weeks out and they don't even have their card built yet.
I'm surprised they haven't even announced Bradshaw. I think Bradshaw just came up. Didn't he just come off of a big knockout with them?
He lost.
Did he lose?
He fought a UFC vet and lost in the last one.
Oh, that's what it was.
He had a big knockout 2 times ago. But I mean, dude, Dom Salas stole the show last time. He was fantastic. You know, they got Ben back this time. They're doing it when Ben can do it. I know they offered Mike Jones a fight. There's a handful of guys in the Utah community. Like, I mean, if everything happens, it's supposedly going to happen. Like, fighter or fan, like, I'm going to be there. It's going to be a cool card.
But we don't know.
And nothing's official till you get a contract. I mean, maybe that's how BKF. Maybe that's what they think. Like, oh, all these guys won on. We'll get to it when we get to it. But at the same time, like, dude, for me, it's like I'm a marketer and stuff. Like, I want to promote it. I want to get sponsors. I want to sell tickets. And it's like I need as much time to maximize that opportunity as possible as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked about Mike Jones. Any update on him health wise?
He's fine.
Was it his shoulder?
Yeah, it was a separated shoulder injury. Maybe he was even separated. I don't know, but like his neck and everything, I think he was a little sore, but he was fine.
Okay, that was scary, man.
Yeah, he's good.
I was up there and I seen him fall, and I was like, oh no, I think it's his shoulder. And I was telling my wife, and I wasn't 100% sure, and so I was just hoping that he would get back soon. So hopefully we'll see him May 10th. Maybe if he...
Yeah, dude, I would love to see him May 10th. Like, if he's healthy and ready to go and he has... Tell this, every fighter, like, you got that fire to compete? Like, yeah, dude, I want to see him. Like, I loved watching Mike shine on the big stage last time. He learned from his mistakes from the first one and fought perfect in his second one. That was awesome to watch.
Yeah, that card in general was fun to watch. There was a lot of... we just had, I think Mark Gonzalez, he fought that one, right? Panda? And he didn't fight that one with Mike?
Mark just fought.
But then he fight Igor that night?
No, that was back in December. Mike fought in February.
Damn, who was the headliner? Was it
Joel Haro?
Was it? No, that wasn't the...
Yeah.
Panda?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting my things confused. Going back to the last Masonic Temple fights, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about the Masonic Temple and about Fierce and the events happening there?
What do you think about them?
I think that they're awesome. I'm thinking that they're getting better for sure. The one thing that I thought the first fight was the seating arrangement, and the second time we went there, cleared it up really nicely. I didn't see no confusion. It seems like the patrons, the guests, seems like they're enjoying it. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying it. The production level just went way up, so salute to them. Mm-hmm. One thing I did want to tell you is I didn't make it to Idaho, obviously. First time I got to watch on the new app.
What'd you think?
Pay-per-view, spot on.
Cool.
Timing was really well.
Good.
I do got to say, at the Masonic Temple, and maybe this is my embarrassment, I'll tell you. This was when my son was sick, right? My pops came. You got to meet my dad.
Yep.
Dad, I'm throwing you under the bus right now.
Oh, dang.
My dad goes, yo, who's that blonde in there? I said, Dad, you got to chill out. 1, you're 3 times her age. 2, you know that guy you just said what's up to? That's his wife. Chill out. Oh, gosh. But sorry, I'm taking it all back to I'm loving the Masonic Temple. I'm loving the pay-per-view.
Good.
I'm seeing all the bits. I get to put my hand in a lot of different pieces of what Fierce is, and I'm seeing the whole picture, and I'm loving the growth. How happy is Zack right now with Fierce?
I'm never happy. I'm very proud of what we built and where we're building and where we're going and the vision that it looks like of where we're going to go. Like, this isn't just a show-to-show thing. For listeners of the show, you've seen it with Sage in here. Me and Sage, and it's like we're trying to do bigger, better all the time. And there are things about the Masonic Temple that I absolutely love, and there are things that we are still working on improving. Anything that's within our control. We did a fan survey for the January show, and they we took a lot of that feedback to heart. Some of it is just is what it is. Some of it's out of our control, right? Parking at the Masonic Temple, kind of a nightmare. Nothing I can do about it. Downtown Salt Lake, street parking, the parking lot. I can't make the parking lot bigger. I can't get access to another parking lot. We tried. We've asked around, like the block. We went around and asked if they had like overflow event parking that would be available for a Friday night event. We're those are things that are out of our control, but everything that is in our control, we are actively, very consistently trying to improve and make better all the time. So from that aspect, very happy with the show, very happy in the direction we're going, and I'm very excited and happy with the challenges that come with executing our path to growth that Sagen and I both have envisioned for the show. The Masonic Temple, it's our new home. That being said, after May, we won't be there till probably about November, because we are moving around a lot, and we have other events that we're a part of. But it's back in November. We'll be there every month for a long time. We love it there. The people, it's such just a unique building and atmosphere when you have 100-year-old building, but now what's awesome is we're there because they needed to generate revenue to do the maintenance on the building, to keep it up to code so that they could keep it and it wouldn't just get condemned or had to give them to the city, that would be a shame. Well, now those funds are happening. So now, right now, ready for next weekend, we should have a couple more bathrooms available to the public and things like that. And then, next, surround sound speakers in there, getting some screens in there, proper screens, so we could have a replay screen, at least 1 or 2 in there. All these things are coming, and just to enhance the fan experience.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you guys are putting more into that, right? Because it means that you guys care about the fan experience.
Yeah.
There's some promotions that just worry about the bottom dollar, and obviously a business, you got to make money, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, you can't make money if your fans ain't having a good experience.
100%. And that's, this is what we do full time. Me and Sagen, this is what we do full time to feed our families and provide for our families. But at the same time too, we put a lot back into the show to try to grow these experiences and things. So It's hard. It's challenging to try and. Well, I keep saying one of these days I'm just going to sit back and enjoy a show and just enjoy the show, but we're not there yet. So
I don't think you will.
I don't know. Probably not, man. Probably not.
Not as long as you wear that cap. I don't think so.
Yeah.
You have so many different worries, and there being there live, there's so many different. I don't know how many times I'll text you random things that I just noticed, and it's like having a live show. You have things that come up. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah. The personal element, you can't control that, right?
Yeah. You talked about being busy. We have May 17th. Well, we have April 11th. Masonic Temple Fierce Fighting Championship 40. Tickets are on sale right now. Mafaleo versus Perez. Mm-hmm. We'll talk more about that card here shortly. But May 16th, we have May 16th, May 17th, we have July 26th, August 16th, September 6th, and October 4th.
Correct.
Busy summer going into fall.
Yeah.
Busy. How hard is it to, and maybe you have a plan, like a roadmap for this. You got the dates. Now, as a matchmaker, do you have names for each one of these dates, or how do you roadmap building these events out?
No, because you can't really build a card or build matchups much past 3 months. Too many things can happen. You can have kind of a plan, So August 16th, we're returning to the Maverick Center after a year away, right? Show's grown, things have improved. Now we focus this year on building our fan base and getting more fans, and now we take it to the Maverick Center. And like I said, I think I've said it here before, but I've said it in multiple places. I think people took for granted the Maverick Center a little bit. It's a special building to be able to compete in, and the fighters and fans, it got to the point where we were doing them all the time, 4 times a year. So people are like, maybe not this one, maybe the next one. But now they know, it might be another year after August. That might just become our August show. Just might be at the Maverick Center every year.
Yeah.
Well, then you don't want to miss that one, right? And if we can create those events that can't miss events, that's how we can get the bigger crowds there.
Especially with the talent, too. Taking this much time and building a card up, you're building a fan base, but you're also building the athletes.
Yeah. So that Maverick Center card is, in all intents and purposes, supposed to be a big event every year, the event every year, and it should be 12 fights, maybe 14, big card, and every single one is a spot that has been earned to be on that card. There more than likely won't be amateur debuters on that card anymore. At that spot, that'll be a spot that was earned through performance, promotion, good business partner with Fierce in the past type spot.
Yeah.
And it's going to make it special. We'll line it up. We'll have the Joel Harrows and the Kents and the Mikes and Zeke back, and we'll have, Talon
Carvalho.
Absolutely, Talon Carvalho will be on that card if he's available and wants to be on that card. But, those types of just the people that bring the crowd that everybody wants to see, not just the people that, we all have loved ones. They love seeing us or whatever. The people that knows what it takes to help elevate Fierce to that next level. They're all, hopefully it works out and lines up that they can all be on that card. That's why a big part of the reason we're taking a break from Salt Lake County for 3 months. May 16th, 17th, we have a dual event. It'll be really cool. Partnered up with Legends Boxing. They'll be doing their event Saturday night on the 17th. Ours is a Saturday afternoon event. Never done before. Something new. It's cool. I hope it works out really well. I'm really excited about some of the matchups on that kickboxing Muay Thai card in a ring, right? That's our first ever Fierce event in a ring, right? It'll be in a ring, not the cage. So we'll be tearing down the cage after May 16th. Legends Boxing is going to come put up their boxing ring, add the 5th rope for a kickboxing Muay Thai show. So our event will be Saturday afternoon. Probably we're looking at about 12 matches, kickboxing, Muay Thai. It's very cool. About finalized with that card. Yeah, but then, then we're taking June off. We're in Price in July, way down, way out of the way. And then we'll make a big return to Salt Lake City at the Maverick Center in August.
For the Legends kickboxing event, are you helping with matchmake that?
No, so Fierce is doing our normal Friday night show. Mm-hmm. And then we're doing the Saturday afternoon kickboxing Muay Thai show in their ring. And then they're doing a boxing show Saturday night at 7 p.m.
Hold on. So MMA is going to be in the boxing ring?
No, or so MMA is going to be Friday night in our cage. We'll tear down the cage Friday night. In the middle of the night Friday, the Legends boxing people will come and set up the ring. We'll come in early Saturday morning, set up our show around the ring, have our show at noon on Saturday. Clear that out. Then Legends comes in and puts in their executive fight night, boxing night in the Masonic Temple Saturday night in their boxing ring.
Any fierce competitors that are going to be doing the Legends walk?
Doing the boxing? No, because executive fight night, they have this really cool concept, and so it's all executives. It's people that have never trained before, and they put them through, I believe it's like an 8 to 10 week camp. And you sign up at one of the different Legends franchise locations.
Dalton did this.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So the exact same thing, right? You never boxed or competed before. You go through your training camp. They put you in there with somebody that's about the same size, and they're all novice beginners. But then they do promo videos and they do all this really cool stuff because they're all local, right? They all train at different Legends boxing gyms. They go in there and they box. It's cool. I've been to the events before. It's really cool. It's a really interesting business concept idea, but I mean it's a very cool event. It's a very cool thing that Legends does for these people.
What brought that together? How did the Legends Fierce collaboration come about?
Rob Scott is doing that puts on those. He's in charge of FightCon. He started FightCon and he just wanted everybody to, he wants an aspect of every different combat sport to be a part of FightCon. And he reached out to us and said, hey, you guys look like the show that we want to partner our brand with for the MMA part of our show. Like MMA is growing. You guys put on a big show. You guys look very professional, like online, your social media, everything. Like we like everything about your show. We want you guys to be the MMA show with us. Like, we want you to help us grow combat sports here in Utah. And so we've just had conversations. He was actually the one that pointed me towards the temple when we needed a venue last November.
Yeah.
He's like, check out this spot. I've looked at it a couple of times. So Rob Scott has been great to work with.
That's
Legends
awesome.
boxing people. Yeah.
I love collaboration, especially when the people care about the product, right? Obviously, you mentioned it. Fierce cares about the Fierce product. Fierce looks professional. I mean, Blake Aurelian he does an amazing job. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to the whole team, Sage and you, everybody, right? Even the ring girls, like the ring girls got their own Facebook now or Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like that's really cool things. It's like, I don't know. I love to see the collaboration. I love to see the growth. Because as much as FightCon's gonna grow, Fierce is gonna grow as well.
Yeah.
And why not do it together?
Yeah. Rob's been really good to work with. He shares a lot of the same vision that we do with for what he's doing, and just bringing people in from, the jiu-jitsu world, wrestling, kickboxing, Muay Thai, everything, and we're trying to bring it all under for like a super event that'll be in October at the Salt Palace. It's cool, man. Like we're trying to do stuff that is not being done other places, and it's really nice to have somebody in the combat world but not in the MMA world that we can kind of try and build something unique and cool alongside with.
Yeah, October 4th.
Yeah.
At the Salt Palace.
Yeah.
So not at the Expo Center this year. Salt
They'll
Palace.
be at the Salt Palace.
That's awesome.
There's I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
There could be something extraordinarily huge with that. That would be really cool.
Awesome. I do want to talk about Fierce Fighting Championship 40, Masonic Temple, April 11th. Camp Mafaleo. I don't know Perez's first name.
AJ Perez.
AJ Perez.
Yeah.
Is he shorter?
Yeah.
Okay. I was telling the wife, because I seen a video of him, and I wasn't sure if it was him.
Yeah.
And I was like, he seems a little bit similar body type to what Kent fought at UVU.
The Dan Trejo.
Yeah. Very similar. I don't know about his hands and stuff. Oh, he's bigger?
Yeah.
This fight, what makes Perez a dangerous opponent for Mafaleo?
I mean, one loss as an amateur. I think he was like 7-1, 8-1 as an amateur, and a 4-0 pro. 4-0 with, I believe, 4 finishes. Maybe three or 4-0 with 4 finishes. He has an immense amount of backing and following in the Northern California area. They think he's the next thing to go to the UFC there. Like, he's the man, and he wanted the belt. Like, he wanted to go straight to Bandera at 4-0. But the thing is Kent wants that fight back too with Bandera. We already had Bandera, an opponent scheduled. Unreal main event that he put on last weekend, defending his belt, and the winner of this fight. All things considered, depending on what Jared's doing and up to or whatever, I mean, it would appear that the winner of this fight will get Jared.
At the Maverick Center in August?
Probably.
Okay. So Perez got a lot of following. He has a lot of support. He's undefeated as a professional, right? Mm-hmm. Kent coming off of a huge I say redemption for Zeke, but coming off of a huge win off of Roundstone at the Masonic Temple, finishes Roundstone. What makes this a good fight for Mafaleo?
It's just, so Kent's in a spot. It's really interesting. Kent's in a spot, he wants to get to a big show, but he's just 38 earlier this week. Shout out Kent, happy birthday. He wants to get a big show, but I mean 38 is it's not young in this sport, but heavyweights, they do have a longer shelf life. I mean, depending on how long Kent does it, he got into the sport a little bit late too, so it's not like he has a ton of miles on him. But Kent he stays active and healthy and takes care of his body. I mean, I don't see any reason why he couldn't fight 6-7 more years at a good level if that's what he wants to do. Who knows? But he's so good at it. I mean, why not? But I mean, I know the goal is to get to a big show for him. Well, if he's going to ever get that shot to be at a big show, he has to knock off impressive. It's why knock off other impressive opponents. I mean, it's why he fought Jared when he did, right? Like, he needed that big staple win. It's why he took that shot at the PFL when nobody else would fight that savage. Kent did it, and he did it on a one-fight deal. I mean, there's a business aspect of it that you could have said. I talked to him. I said, you asked for a multi-fight deal for taking the fight against somebody that nobody's saying yes to, and they said they wouldn't offer a multi-fight deal. They'd rather just not have a fight happen. But if you'll take the opportunity and then you win, then you could talk about a multi-fight deal. So I'm not trying to speak for Kent, but I'm pretty sure that those were the circumstances around it. I think from a business standpoint, you probably say, just let it pass that. If they're not going to give you a multi-fight deal, like, let's, keep bringing people to Fierce or pick a better spot to go to a bigger show and try and make that moment. But that's what I love about Kent. He's willing to bet on himself. And so here we are again against another guy that's trying to make it. And like, if Kent knocks him down, that just puts a little bit brighter spot on him. He fights Jared Vandera again, beats him that time. You're going to get to the point where you make yourself undeniable if you knock off enough of these either UFC vets or other top prospects. Eventually, he's going to make himself known as the guy.
Yep.
You can only be a gatekeeper so long before finally, after you knock all the competition down, you got to get called up.
Undeniable. Be undeniable. Not only in MMA, but just like in life, be undeniable. Just be good at what you're trying to do. Just be good at it. Be undeniable.
Absolutely.
Ashcroft Simpson. This is the one that was supposed to happen.
No, Josiah. So Ashcroft, Alden had a couple of pullouts.
Oh, okay.
He had 2 pullouts actually for February, and Josiah was one that was down for it. He was the main event on that last Crown card that I fought on. Had a big win, and he was down for it. He just wasn't healthy to take it on short enough notice to make it happen in February. So we just got Alden hurried, rebooked to be on this card. That's a great fight. Josiah actually reminds me a lot of Alden. So I think people, I feel like it's a matchup that not enough people are talking about because I feel like somebody's probably getting knocked out in devastating fashion in that fight.
Where's Simpson from?
Cedar City.
Oh, okay.
Southern Utah boy.
So still Utah.
Uh-huh.
Who was the Utah kid that came? I say kid because we're old men. But the Utah guy that came up and he was at the Masonic Temple last time.
Christian?
Huge crowd.
Christian Reyes.
Yes.
Yeah, his son, his dad is Aaron Reyes, and Aaron is the promoter for Crown.
Gotcha.
That's who I go fight for. Christian has been training since he was a kid, and he's a stud. And even though he tasted defeat for the first time in MMA, like it was a good fight, and it was something that he'll grow from, and he'll be just fine.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him fight. Ruiz is back.
Yeah, Julian against Ben Hollier.
Ruiz coming off of a tough, I say tough loss because
It was a tough loss.
Man,
He had it.
Yeah, he was working this dude. He was working him. His hands looked really good.
Really good. He looked the best he'd ever looked, and that was coming from the coaches of the opponent. And they said, we'd never seen this. This was such a better version of Julian at that first round. He's like, we were freaked out.
Was the guy, he was Hawaiian too, wasn't he from Hawaii?
Yeah, he's from Vegas, but he's
Vegas.
originally Hawaiian, yeah.
That fight was scary for me because it's like, I'm not a fighter, right? And so I think a fighter holds on to these memories of previous fights, right? And the whole time I'm watching Julian fight, he's piecing this dude up. His boxing looks really good. Mm-hmm. And then he got caught, similar to what he got caught at PFL. I think it was an overhand left or overhand right.
I think it was I mean, he got caught, sure, and that's what happened in the PFL. He got caught. Different type of a sequence, though. Different type of a sequence.
Does a fighter does a fighter keep this thing in their minds? Like,
you'd have to. Yes and no. I think it depends on the fighter. I can't speak for Julian on that.
Yeah.
But he knows he had that one and it slipped through his fingers, right? And Julian has a high enough fight IQ that he is fully aware of what he needs to fix. One of the things that I like is that he had a tough loss. He took a long time off, came back and fought beautifully, got caught again, and instantly him and his team's immediate reaction was, don't let him sit and wait, for another 9 months or whatever it is off. Like, let's get him in there fast. And so that was January, right? Mm-hmm. So then it was like, well, February's full. It's too soon. But like the next one, it's all like after that's April. There's a perfect. Let's do that. And, Julian's lost back-to-back after being undefeated, go from 4-0 to 0-2. I don't think as somebody that started as an amateur 4-0, totally different. Julian's totally different animal. I'm not even trying to suggest anything normal. I'm just saying, as somebody that started 4-0, the first two that I lost, and then I lost my next two fights, you do start to question, in my head at least, I'm like, can I like figure out a way to win now? Because like I should have won those. Like now I need to figure out a way. I keep figuring out a way to lose. I need to figure out a way to win. I don't have that internal dialogue that questions myself on that stuff. I'm pretty internally confident, especially when it comes to competing. I just think I'm more competitive than the other person, and the preparation will show in that because I'm competing with myself in preparation and then competing with them. I think Julian is super competitive. I know he is. I've heard enough of people that train with him. I know he's super competitive. I think that serves him really well. I think he has good people around him that believe in him. But the interesting thing is Ben Hollier was once one of the top prospects in the West, and now he's lost 4 fights in a row. So they're both battling probably kind of the same internal demons. Who knows? I mean, I think that I think Julian possesses a lot of skills that's going to give Ben problems. I think Ben possesses some skills that if Julian fights correctly, he can shut down. So, but I haven't seen Ben fight actually in probably 3 years. He was at the Maverick Center 3 years ago.
Wow.
I fought a guy named David Balea, Hulk Hogan's nephew. If anybody pays attention to David on King David on Instagram, he's hilarious.
I've been paying attention to Hogan's wife, ex-wife. She's been going crazy on the social media.
Really?
Oh man, it's his first wife.
I don't remember.
Brooke and Nick's mom.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's laying everything out.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's bad. Ooh. Sorry, you said Hogan.
Maybe I shouldn't bring that up. Maybe cut that part out. But David Balea, King David MMA on, he's hilarious. But he called out one of the best promos after the Fierce Cage, as when I was doing the commentary and like I put the mic in his face and but yeah. Anyway, so Ben Hollier, Julian, I think it's good. I mean, it's the right fight for both of them for a lot of reasons. But when it comes to fighting, like, I think Julian's a fighter and he'll get right.
Last time I seen Vigil, it's been a while since I seen Vigil. I just remember that tattoo on his chest.
Teague.
A lot of energy from what I remember. Dude comes out full blast like a little Tasmanian devil.
Dude, 200% all the time. He trains in our room with us about part-time, and then kind of does his own thing on the side. And yeah, I mean, dude, never met a more respectful, kind human being that is just an absolute ball of energy, like muscle and energy. That fight with Thiago Angelone is super interesting. Thiago's a high-level black belt in jiu-jitsu. Teague is a 2-time state champion wrestler and a grinder and a wrestler to his core. So Thiago has no problem being on his back playing the jiu-jitsu game. Teague wants to be on top, smashing, wrestling, hurting. Like, they both want to be where the other person's strength is. So I think that one will be very interesting. Or maybe it just cancels out and they decide to just on the feet go after it.
Regardless, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on. Make sure you get your tickets, fiercefightingchampionship.com for Fierce Fighting Championship 40. 4-0 on the name now. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Moving. This promotion is moving so fast.
Moving, baby.
Are you sick of podcasts that just interview people with the same questions and gossiping nonsense?
Are you tired of hearing about what's wrong with the world? Can you locate your nearest orphanage?
Who cooked the Last Supper?
R.I.P. Mr. Potato Head.
Seppuku Harakiri.
Where is Mavis Beacon?
This is Hos.
And this is host Beefy.
Listen to the Beans and Rice podcast.
Exclusively in Braille and all streaming platforms.
Patent pending.
If you're a sports athlete looking for a mouthguard to protect your pearly whites, look no further than All Sports Mouthguards.
All Sports Mouthguards, located in West Jordan, Utah. Come visit us, 1385 West, 9000 South in West Jordan, Utah. We offer high quality, made in the USA, custom molded and custom designed mouthguards.
No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
You are the ex-champion, Hogan.
Now this is the way, Tony and David, that you do the figure 4 leg lock.
You love wrestling.
Do you believe that Stone Cold Steve Austin is the greatest entertainer of all time?
Or maybe that Shawn Michaels is the sexiest man alive.
Or did you have a thing for Sonny from the years of 1994 to 1996 like I did?
Did you know Yokozuna isn't even Japanese?
If you could count the number of dimples on Rikishi's ass, this podcast is for you.
Follow us, the Figure 4 Podcast on Instagram, at Figure 4 Podcast. And check us out on YouTube.
Do it.
Tell your punk friends about us.
Yeah.
Ready to be the next big thing out of Utah.
Man, I love watching Camp Leo fight.
Pack the house with his fans here. Julian's as tough as they come. He's always looking for the next toughest challenge out there.
This is where you do not want to be with Camp Leo.
Teague Vigil!
Nico Broswell, crumbling combination thrown. These last few fights have just been impressive. I got a temple now, baby.
Is there, the heavyweight pool is so small. Is there somebody for him out there for May?
Of course.
Okay.
It's not that small.
It's not?
Nah.
Okay.
I could always find people for people.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. Hopefully we see him in May.
I think you can count on one hand how many times I've told somebody they can be on a card, and we couldn't find them a matchup. And most of them, I think 3 out of the 5 were female fighters because those pools are small.
Well, speaking of female fighters, I think I see my first female knockout
with Nicole.
Yeah,
that was sick.
When is she back?
Dude, she's back in May. It's under contract. She's back May 16th. Right. Super exciting. But and the girl she fought just was down at the tryouts for Power Slam in Vegas at the PI this week.
Really?
Yeah, Jackie Thomas. That's kind of wild. Oh. Power Slam. I don't get it, but
hey, it's entertaining. It's entertaining for the clips. I've never watched an event, but
neither have I. I just see it on the TikTok, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, and then they edit it up to where the head spins all the way around.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is
or you seen the one where it's like they'll have like one face and they get slapped and it's like somebody different. Yeah, it's funny.
So what you're telling me is we won't be seeing any type of slap boxing coming to Fierce.
Never say never.
All right,
probably not.
Idaho Falls, Fierce Fighting Championship 39. We start off with the proposal. Our man, Jackson Hoops, finally stopped pump faking and popped the question to his love of his life.
Yeah.
How did that help? Did he have to ask you, or did he just bring that on you?
He did because he's respectful, but like, dude, so people that don't know, Jackson's my guy. Like, we shared an office together for a long time, and I've known Jackson for a while, and I remember when Fierce lost its previous cage announcer. And I told Cody, I'm like, and this was before I was matchmaking or anything. I'm like, dude, if you need a cage announcer, I got the guy. And he's like, man, I don't know. He's like, I had a friend do it once in Price, and he bombed. Like, and he's like, are you sure? I was like, dude, trust me, I got the guy. He'll kill. I said, I guarantee it. And from day one, dude, he's made it a craft. Like, he studies, and he did so good. Fast forward, he's our guy, and we have a great time. I love having him a part of the show, the energy he brings. Andrea comes to the show with the brunette ring girl, Kirsten. They're friends. She comes, and they meet, and then the last March show, which was at Bonneville High School, he brings dinner for 2 to the show, before doors open or anything. And he gave Andrea some food. And I was like, man, going after the ring girl, huh? And Jackson is very much usually he is so out there, but with like personal stuff, he's pretty private.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and just raised his eyebrows. I'll never forget. He looked over and went, and I was like, oh snap, okay. So I'm like, cool. And we shared an office like when he was like going through a divorce and everything. So I was around for a lot of that. So or maybe not the divorce, but yeah. So dude, it just from day one, it was just so obvious how happy they made each other. It was cool. I am not the proposal or gender reveal or you could ask my wife. It was like the lamest proposal ever. I'm just not that guy, but I always told him, I'm like, if y'all like really do like get engaged, like you have to do it in the Fierce cage. You met at Fierce, and like, I tell people all the time, I think Jackson is the face of Fierce. Like when I've had somebody like, do you like the face of Fierce? No, I think Jackson is. He's the guy. Or Blake.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're they're the ones that I think most people see. From my vantage point, that's what Jackson.
Absolutely. It's the guys with the mics.
He's the guy with the mic. And dude, when he brought it up, I was so happy for him and her. And that was one of like my happiest moments doing this with Fierce, is watching him, because I've just seen how much happiness she's brought into his life. I didn't know her much before this, but I knew him. Mm-hmm. She's just made him so much happier, and I could not be happier that when he was like, I know there's 15 fights on the card and it's going to be a long night, and I was like, absolutely, yeah, do whatever you want. Like, whatever you need. You need help? Cool. Like, let me know. Like, whatever you want. So,
man, he pulled out a John Cena promo. That dude didn't skip a beat. I didn't hear no fumble. He said everything perfect.
Nah, he doesn't. He doesn't fumble though. That's the thing. That's what I love about Jackson.
I was like, geez, I'm watching live. I'm like, oh, here we go. Because he told me what was going to happen.
Oh, did he? Cool.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, here we go. And when it happened, and he does a speech so perfect. And I'm like, man, this is a huge moment in his life. And now you got to mark that off the Fierce bingo card.
Yeah.
We got a proposal now.
Yeah.
Super dope moment. Obviously, we open up with
And let me just add this too. The thing that I love the most about Jackson is he wanted to do it, but he was also very conscious and said, I need to do it in a way that it doesn't take away from the fighters. Because this show is for the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he put thought and effort into making sure, because, like, do I do it during intermission? No. We do it. We sing the national anthem, then we do it, we get it over with, then the rest of the night can be about the fighters. That's what I love about Jackson.
Oh, yeah, perfect. I loved it. We did open up with, I'm going to claim this guy as my cousin because my last name is Adams. Brock Adams, a 7-second KO.
Yeah.
Now, Zack, when I'm watching this pay-per-view, right? I'm watching this pay-per-view, and Blake is talking about records. I seen this guy, Dustin Jones, did not have the most prettiest record. I think he was 0-4, 1-4.
1-5.
1-5.
Or might be 1-5 now. It was 1-4.
I think it was Brock's debut as an amateur.
Correct.
0-0 debut.
Correct.
Gets this guy out of here in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
How does this matchup happen? Because there was another matchup that I was concerned about as far as records go. But when you're matchmaking.
So Brock's original opponent pulled out, and his original opponent was from Idaho Falls. So for people who don't know, so Idaho Falls, it's like if you're from Idaho Falls, like you're kind of the A side of the card, right? So everybody else is traveling in is the B side as far as like financials are concerned, right? Like the people in Idaho Falls are coming to see the Idaho Falls fighters. So when the Idaho Falls guy falls out, the only way that fight stays on the card is if I can replace him with another Idaho Falls guy.
Gotcha.
Very similar to here. If the out-of-towner falls out in Salt Lake City, I can look anywhere for an out-of-towner to keep the Utah guy on the card. But if the Utah guy falls out, if I can't replace it with another Utah guy, that fight's just getting scrapped. That's just promoting and matchmaking like 101. So Dustin, so it was, and there's just a handful of gyms there in Idaho Falls. So when his opponent had some medical issues, very legit, scary issues, was on some medication to allow him to train and fight. Some things happened with his medication, wasn't working properly anymore a couple weeks out from the fight, and just wasn't going to happen. So I messaged all the gyms. This is who I got, whatever. Coach reaches out and said, hey, Dustin's back training, just got back, but, he's always kind of fit, so let me talk to him. And he messaged me and said, hey, he'll do it. And so it's kind of for Brock, it was kind of like this guy or nothing. That's how the fight happened. Dustin Jones, he's fought for Fierce now 3 times. Actually 4, but 3 since I've been a part of the show. And unfortunately, they just haven't gone his way, but he's also fought 3 really tough guys. And he keeps fighting up. I think he should probably fight at 135, 145, but he's all 3 of them have been 155. And it's so hard when you have a fight. He's 1-4, fighting an 0-0. He obviously has the experience advantage. He's been training a lot longer than this kid. But you have no idea what that 0-0 is going to do. He might be a world beater in the training room, and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is the next whoever. And then they go into the cage, they're flat, they don't respond, they feel the pressure, the crowd noise, the other team, the other fighter in front of you, they don't perform. There's other guys who in the room you're like, gosh, I don't know, maybe he's not ready, this or that. And then they go into the cage, and that cage door closes, and it's like the cage is their happy place, and they let their hands go and have no problem, they have no problems. And Brock was one of those guys where his coaches were just like, I don't know what we're going to get once the ref says, "Are you ready?" Like they weren't sure. So that's
now.
The hardest thing about matching debuters is you do not know how they're going to respond in there. There are guys that are super talented in the room, but you know when those lights go on too, it's like they're not going to be that world beater in the cage. You'd have to try and match them appropriately for what they show. Game time, whatever. I mean, dude, that's me. I mean, to be honest, that's me. I'll never forget my first fight. One of my training partners told me after, he's like, "Man, I didn't know you had that in you. You never go hard in the room like that." Like, but I was always a guy. I probably never stood out in practice, but like when it's game time, like I'll lock in and I'll do what I have to get my job done.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know. That's how that fight happened, though. Big shout out to Dustin. I think he's a stud.
One guy that was on here that we've seen several times was Eric Tier, Lizard Man.
Mm-hmm.
How did this happen? I mean, the guy was. I say, how did this happen? Is it a similar situation to the Dustin situation?
No, Eric. After he lost, he was doing pretty good on the feet when he fought here in Salt Lake City, and then he got taken down and he lost on the ground. Eric doesn't train at a gym. He trains by himself and works on pretty hard to work on your grappling by yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So he's grown into a moderately proficient striker. And he has a lot of confidence and inner belief, which is more than half the battle in fighting, if you ask me.
Great personality online too, by the way.
Very entertaining. You see the video?
Yeah.
Dude, he sent that to me. I was like, "What do you want me to do with this? You want me to post it?" He's like, "Yeah, post it." I was like, "Okay." And I sent it to Blake, and Blake's like, "This is the best piece of content we've ever posted ever." So I like Eric a lot. He just wants to win and he wants to compete, and it's just something that he wants to do, is get a win. And so he told me, he said, "Find me anybody at 170 pounds that will stand and strike with me, because like everybody just takes me down. Like I only lose because I get taken down, and my appropriate weight class is at 170. So I said, again, you're the out of towner, right? So you're the what? You're the B side.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to find an A side that makes sense. Javier Beltran's from Idaho, main training partner of Anthony Castro, who will be back in May as well.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, he said, "Find me somebody that's man enough to stand with me." And Javier's a boxer. Like, okay, like at 100, 0-0 debut. He was 4-0 as an amateur, but first pro fight. So it's like 0-9 versus 0-0. Like, I'm not sure. And what's crazy, and I kind of teased Eric a little bit after, I was like, "Man, he caught a kick and took him to the ground." I'm like, "You started the grappling. It wasn't even him." So I actually thought he had a pretty good performance in that fight. But yeah, Javier, we were kind of having a hard time finding matchup for. He's kind of a scary amateur, 4-0, 4 knockouts.
And that's where, when we're talking about records, I'm like, you got a guy that's 4-0 versus a guy that's 0-5.
But 4-0 as an amateur, so he's 0-0 as a pro. That was his first pro fight.
But Eric Tier is, as a professional, he hasn't won a professional fight. No, he had one. He had one.
Muay Thai.
Yeah, that's Muay Thai fight.
Yep, he hasn't had a win in an MMA fight. Yeah, I mean, it's just, like he's just give me a striker that won't take me to the ground so that I have a chance to knock him out. So, I mean.
This guy literally asked you for a kickboxing match. Why didn't we get him a kickboxing match?
Because he don't want to. He wants to be in little gloves.
Oh, my gosh. Eric Tier, you're frustrating me.
That's cool. He messaged me again. He's like, "When can I fight for you again?" And I was like, I don't know, man, but like, let's.
Where's he from?
Montana.
Mm. Yeah,
dude, you got to respect him, and everybody's doing this journey for their own reasons. And he sent me a very long personal message about his reasoning behind wanting to fight. He's not crazy. I think he has a different way of thinking than we're used to in the MMA and sports world. But I will tell you this: I as a man to man, I respect him a lot, and he shows up. He's professional. He makes weight, at least with us. I don't have any complaints working with him. And, if you're going to be a B-side guy, the guy that's always traveling in, you better check those boxes of being somebody the promotion wants to work with. And he makes life easy on me. So like, I'm going to keep giving him opportunities. When people are like, I want to fight for fears, I want to do this, I want to do that, and they're not getting messages back or opponents or whatever, it's probably because at some point you weren't easy to work with.
You were a problem.
Or caused problems for me.
You know who caused problems for Mendenhall? Panda
Man.
A guy coming out of one hit, right? He came out of one hit. A guy that controlled the ground the whole fight.
Yeah.
A really good display of control. I mean, he controlled the ground the whole time. My question for you is this how you want your heavyweight fights to look, though?
No, you know what I've told him this. I'm not, Mark, you know. He knows. You know what I tell him? You know what's worse than a heavyweight that wins majority by decision?
They do it on the ground?
No, do you know what's worse than that?
What's that?
Nothing.
All love, Panda. I don't want no problems.
He knows. I've told him this.
Yeah.
He fought very well. He executed a game plan very well, and he did it like here. I will give him this. All joking aside, I will give him this. He was active for 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
He was trying to do damage. He was going for stuff. He wanted the finish. If finishing every fight was easy, they would all do it. When people are like, don't leave it in the hands of the judges, dude. Shut up. Like sometimes it's hard. You know, Jake just happened to be tough enough that there was a moment in the fight where I think Jake knew like, I'm gonna lose this fight. But then he also just kept fighting to make sure that he didn't get finished. Dude, it's one thing when somebody's going for it, they create openings for them to get themselves caught. But when somebody knows they're gonna lose, sometimes it's just easier to stay safe and just know you're gonna lose on the scorecards and just stay healthy and not get knocked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I will give Panda Man a lot of credit for a heavyweight to have the gas tank that he does. I am impressed with that. He knows at 39 years old, like his shelf life in this game, like, I mean, he's older than Kent, you know, he just get into it late. He knows that he needs to start racking up finishes, and he made it a point to try. And I'll say this, I thought his last two fights, even though they went to decision, I do think he was actively trying to finish the fight the whole time, which it's good. Like, all joking aside, it's a very impressive performance for his pro debut.
My question for you, and maybe you talked to him about this, does he know that he can throw elbows in professional?
He did. He threw some.
Okay. Because I didn't see a lot. Dude, I was like,
so,
when you were on top, you throw them elbows.
So, I mean, I'll say this in my pro debut too. It's like elbows are new. And, you know, when you're mostly an amateur, it's really hard to train with throwing elbows.
Oh.
As an amateur. So it's like, dude, a lot of us. So like, I've just started getting comfortable with elbow pads and knee pads in my own training as we've tried to like develop those, do more ground and pound. So our gym had mostly amateur fighters for a while. Now we have some pros coming. We have Cole Faust, we have Amma Garcia, myself, Mark, Vince Wright. Like, we have 5 active MMA fighter pros at our gym now. Maddie Meacham is back, so that's 6. She just had her second kid. She's back in the training room. So we have 6 pro fighters. So now it's like there's a group of us. So now it's like, now we have partners that are trying to develop same skills, and elbows and knees are involved. And our coaches, Aldo, has done a very good job starting to implementing more drills for us to be able to utilize all of our weapons. But it still takes time, and I think Mark he'll develop those. Just takes a little bit of time.
I know it's early, but any interest from him on another fight? Is he coming in May or?
Of course.
We're looking at May? Or
he called out a gentleman named Hayden Brown for the Maverick Center in August.
Hayden Brown?
Yep.
Has Hayden met the walk at Fierce yet?
Nope. He's a 3-1 professional heavyweight at Steel Fist. Made his pro debut, I believe, at welterweight at 170. Took some time off, got pretty big, and used to actually train at our gym. Used to be somebody that I used to train with a little bit. And
is this a personal vendetta? Is this a personal settling?
I don't know if it's like personal for Mark. For Mark, I think it's a big record. He's 3-1. Mark's 1-0. Like, that would be a good cap in his feather. I think Mark feels really good about the matchup that he could win. Hayden's If anything, like, he's very durable, and he's out-toughed a lot of guys to win fights. It's a fight that I'd be happy to make at the Maverick Center. I think it makes a lot of sense for everybody.
I'm surprised he didn't call out Cortez.
I think that call-out would be next.
Especially after the Cortez Roundstone, I wouldn't be mad at seeing Mark get in there with Cortez.
If Mark can get to 2-0, me and Mark talked about it. If he got a fight with Hayden or somebody else, he got to 2-0, if he'd want to go from August, and then we're projected to go back up to Idaho Falls in October, assuming Luis would be on the card. I believe that's a fight that Mark is interested in. So then it would just the ball would be in Luis's court.
Yeah, I don't know if Cortez. I mean, is the risk worth the reward? You know, now, obviously, if Mark gets this win, of course that makes sense.
Luis just needs to keep. I mean, he's after that losing streak that he's been on, he's back-to-back wins now. He's building. If I were Luis, I would think fighting a 2-0 or a 1-1 pro would be a gift of an opportunity. Luis has way more experience than Mark, and that should be an opportunity for Luis to try and pick up another. Like, all Luis should care about, rather than opponent, is he should just be trying to keep stacking up wins to get his record back up to 500.
I don't know if we got it, but on the pay-per-view, we seen Ruben take off his gloves. Is he retired? Is he?
No. Dude, Ruben messaged me right after. If anything happens to AJ Perez, tell Kent that we can run it back, you know? Dude, it's in his blood. He's a warrior, dude. Like, that dude's going to fight. I think he was pretty disheartened. I think he thought that the Luis fight was a very winnable fight. I think it was. I think it was a very winnable fight for both of them. That fight made so much sense. I was, like, literally looking at it, and I was like, wait, they've never fought each other? Like, this is crazy. And I was, like, looking down Luis's record, and I'm looking down, like, Ruben's. I'm like, am I missing something? How have they never fought? Like, it just made too much sense. So I just think he was disappointed because he thought that was – I think he really believed in his heart that was the one that was going to start building back another win streak. And he had his chance. Mm-hmm. He had a chance. He had a deep Kimura lock that he just quite couldn't finish there. Dude, Ruben, not to speak too much to his personal stuff, you know, his kid's still in primary children's hospital, and he's worried about that. And as a father, I can empathize with that. His living situation isn't ideal. He's training at Fight City here in Salt Lake, but his team and his coaches are all up in Montana. Like, and he's still just trying to fight, I think, because he loves it, needs the distraction. Probably needs some money too, some income-wise, like, whatever. I feel for Ruben a lot, and on, you know, as a father and as a man on a personal level, like, he's another one. Like, I love working with the guy. He's great. Yeah. The hardest thing he negotiates with me for is gift cards to In-N-Out Burger in his contract. You know, like, he's the man. I love working with Ruben. Yeah, I just think he was a little. I went and checked on him in the locker room after, and that was as upset as I've ever seen him. But yeah, he messaged me back, you know, a day or two later, and hey, if anything happens to Mafaleo or Perez, let me know. I'm there. I know you are, dude.
Yeah. We know your game.
I know.
Awesome, man. Well, we have the fights again this Friday, April the 11th at the Masonic Temple. Get your tickets at fiercefightingchampionship.com. The website is really dope. It looked like you guys cleaned it up a little bit. There's some the guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to Sagen. He did a whole overhaul on the website. It looks great.
Oh, before we wrap up though, Zach, I did want to talk about a couple of guys on the. Now I know Tapology isn't 100% updated.
Go to Tapology, people. What's up?
A couple of guys on here. One guy's name on here, third in the state, pound for pound, Carson Hardman. What's going on with Carson? He hasn't made the walk in a while. I haven't seen him make a walk anywhere since PFL, I believe.
No, he came back and fought for us after that, I think.
Because he had the belt.
Justin James. No, he moved down to 155. Fight didn't go his way, broke his nose. Turned out he was fighting with influenza, had a fever of like 104.
Oh, geez.
I mean, should not have been. I mean, he had every reason to pull. I mean, that fight sucked on so many levels. Justin Jane's dad like almost died while he was cutting weight. And so he missed weight. So it got moved from 155 to 165. And he was just like, I don't care if I miss weight. Like he was worried about his dad. Like I think we thought his dad like had a heart attack or a stroke here in Salt Lake City while he was cutting weight. Like it was crazy. And then Carson did Carson things, said a lot of things about not being a professional and making weight, regardless of the circumstances. And then come to find out after that Carson had like influenza and like was fighting like with like 103 or 104 fever and was in the hospital the next day. Like he should have pulled out of that fight 100%. But that's not what Carson does. Big fan of Carson, love Carson. Mm-hmm. And then he had some really unfortunate stuff with his house. Some developers, forgive me if I misspeak, some developers didn't do the correct things to the water retention pond by their house, and something with the sewage and flooding and whatever flooded their house, made their house not livable. Well, his gym was on that house's property. And so they actually just opened up their new gym this week. I think they had to move houses. I think they had to move gyms.
Excite MMA, right?
Yeah. And now, I mean, he's a full-time coach. And so I think like from talking to him, what I believe it is just finding the time to train for himself, because he's full-time coach to a young amateur team. So, and he has some really talented kids there. So it's, I think he does want to fight again, but it's just figuring out that balance of everything. Love Carson. I know he has haters. I feel like I know Carson on a level, like he knows he always has a home of fierce, like big fan of his.
I don't know him personally, but I've known him from the fight game, seen him fight several times. I love watching him fight.
He's the most authentic person I think I deal with. Like he just says it how it is. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. And whether you like it or not, he's just going to say it the way it is. And some people don't like him for that, and that's fine. And I truly believe, like, I know Carson's the type of guy, dude, he may not be the biggest ticket seller, but I know people come watch fights that Carson's on because he's never been in a boring fight. Mm-mm. And so I know they're like, maybe we should go to the Fierce Fights, whatever. They'll buy a ticket, like support, I don't know, somebody else on that list. I'll buy a ticket to support, Julian. But part of the reason why they're going to check out Julian and support Julian too, but like if Carson's on the card, like everybody's interested in watching Carson. He's fun. And you might be watching him to try and see if he loses too and get knocked out. Maybe you enjoy it because there are a lot of people that don't like him because he is so forward and so direct. But I appreciate the authenticity that he brings.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I seen the PFL fight. Obviously, it didn't go his way. Seen him come back to Fierce, and I'm like, man, where's he at? Because he's an exciting fighter.
Just personal stuff.
Somebody else that's exciting that I haven't seen, and I think he made his pro debut, is Cross. I don't think I've seen Cross.
No, he sustained an injury getting ready for a fight at Steel Fist. I think it was like 2 weeks out or something, like a week or two out. And, dude, he got, like, his teeth caved in. He ate a knee or something, and his teeth, like, caved in. And then I texted him to check on him, like, 3 or 4 months ago, and then he tore another muscle, I want to say in his hip or something like that. So he's just kind of had a string of bad luck. But I told him, like, you get healthy and you ready to go. Like, he's got my number.
Yeah, he was one that it seemed
always fun
on the come up. He had a really good fight at the Bonneville. I think it was Bonneville. I think he was there.
No, so his best performances was the Farmington.
Farmington.
He was great. Down in price, he was phenomenal a couple years ago. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I was looking at the list, and obviously this is not a list that's 100% up to date. But yeah, seeing Hardman's name up there, I was like, man, what happened with him?
Yeah.
Hopefully see him again.
I hope so.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Anything we missed? Anything that we need to talk about other than this Friday?
I don't think so, brother. This Friday is going to be awesome. Tickets are trending incredibly well. I'm pretty sure we're going to have another packed house, if not sold out completely. And it's going to be a wild night.
I'm actually on my way after we wrap this up. I'm on my way to Bountiful Nutrition.
Let's go.
To go get
I'll
my
see you there.
Jersey or my shirt for him.
I'll see you there.
Something that we're doing new though. Me and my family are really excited about this. We're starting our posters. I don't know if it's I'm the DJ, but I also have my favorites.
Okay.
We're starting our posters, and I want to run one by you. All right, we're WWE guys, right?
Absolutely, we are.
We all know Jey Uso, Mr. Yeet himself. Mm-hmm. I got one that says, main event Kent Toko.
Yeah.
Instead of Jey Uso, Toko. And I got another one that's gonna do Kent 316.
There you go. That's cool.
So we got some posters. Hopefully,
like that.
I want to see more posters in the arena. I think that'd be really cool.
Dude, it's hard because it blocks people's view behind you.
Oh, that's true. But there ain't nobody behind me, so
that's right.
I'll be good.
That's right.
But it's only for one fight. What's her name? Was it the one that sings the national anthem? She just got that. Nicole. Her family, they had some cool signs.
Did they?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah. A lot of flags. I feel like if people are gonna have the flag, we can have the big ass poster.
Do it. Do it.
All right. Go get your tickets. FierceFightingChampionship.com for FFC 40. Kent Mafaleo taking on, was it JR Perez?
AJ Perez.
Undefeated
AJ Perez.
The styling sensation from Northern California coming to meet the man that took control. He said that he owns that temple. Are you guys part of the Freemasons yet? They asked you guys to.
I told Sagen he had to. I don't think he's gonna do it, but
Sagen, just take some mushrooms and then
oh my god,
run around the building.
That's a wrap.
We're out of here. Again, FierceFightingChampionship.com. Go get your tickets. Fierce Fighting Championship number 40 at Masana Temple this Friday, April 11th. We'll see you there. Have the day you deserve. Always protect your light. We're out. Peace.